What's up, everyone? Brett Mix here, Mixer Madness. This is the Monday Night Wars, the WWF side. Week 65, the 193rd episode of Raw and its history. It took place January the 13th, 1997 on the USA Network from the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York. Ratings were a 2.3 for Raw, and for Nitro a 3.4. WCW wins for the 29th week in a row. So after this week's loss, the total scoreboard is now 17 wins for the WWF, 46 losses, 2 draws all time through 64 weeks. And that Raw that lost the week with a 2.3 rating was brought to you by Vince McMahon and the Honky Tonk Man. This is the Royal Rumble Go Home show. So it's the last Raw before the Royal Rumble. Show opened up with a video package of last week's events where Sid powerbombed Jose Lothario's son, Pete Lothario, to bug Shawn Michaels, since Jose Lothario was Shawn Michaels' mentor. The first shot of the video package has Helmsley in the ring walking around to his music. The King's already made his entrance. We have a tag team matchup with Helmsley and the King versus Mark Barrow and Goldust. So Helmsley and the King are already in the ring. Then the Wild Man's music hits, and out comes Marrow. They showed the clip a couple of weeks ago of when Helmsley threw Marlena into the arms of Marrow and then ducked a charging Goldust. So Goldust ended up spearing Marrow, who had Marlena in his hands because of Helmsley. Helmsley just dishes Marlena into the arms of Marrow. Goldust charges for Helmsley. Helmsley ducks. Goldust hits Marrow with Marlena. So Goldust hits his own girlfriend with Marrow, holding her accidentally because Triple H threw her at him and then ducked. So that was interesting. They showed the replay of that. Goldust playing a face here and teaming with Marrow, looking for revenge against Triple H. The two would meet at the first in 1997 Royal Rumble. In the first half of the year, Helmsley feuded with Goldust, and then he went on to feud with Mankind, and then that feud went for another 3 years, pretty much. King wanted a test of strength as he began the match in the ring with Mark Marrow, as Marrow laughs, and then King took a cheap shot on him and laughed, and then all of a sudden he realized that when the King took another shot, Marrow didn't have any wounds, didn't have any beating placement on him. He just laughed at him and smiled. So the King, he started to bag and all that heel shit the heels do whenever the faces realize this isn't going to work. So the Wild Man came back with a jab, and the Honky Tonk Man says, "What is he doing throwing jabs? This is a wrestling match." So that's Honky Tonk Man's on commentary, obviously, because the King's in the ring. Not sure where JR was on this night. Helmsley tags in, and he threw Marrow into the corner and landed with some chops, a back body drop. Goldust sends King into the boot of Hunter Helmsley accidentally on the apron. Marrow tagged in with a side headlock to the King. Helmsley tagged in and beat down, and Hunter Helmsley and the King choke out Marrow in their corner as they make frequent tags and cut off their half of the ring, making sure that Goldust can't get the hot tag. Sable goes mad on the outside as Marrow is continuously beaten down. Goldust comes in eventually and gets some offense on both Helmsley and the King. In the end, the King and Triple H win by DQ as Goldust traps Triple H in the ring ropes as the bell rang. You don't see that finish often. Marrow is trapped in the ropes with both his arms out like this, and both of his arms, and he's in the ropes, and Goldust wouldn't let him go, and he kept choking him out and kept beating on him, so the referee rang the bell for a DQ. I rated it a 1.5 stars as the heels win by DQ. Usually faces win by DQ with moves like that, but they wanted to put over how much Goldust is against Hunter Hearst Helmsley. How do you choke him to death if he wanted to, so to speak. Then we have Sid doing a promo from the Alamo Dome, which is completely empty. The Alamo Dome's empty and Sid is there. The ring isn't even set up yet. It's just wood on the floor and a lot of open space with backwards shots of the Alamo Dome, empty chairs. And Sid whispers his promo, and he comes off intimidating, but he ends it with, "I'm the master and the ruler of the world." And it was a pretty good promo for Sid. HBK then did a promo, and he's in San Antonio at this club with a lot of fans. And he says that HBK says, Sid, you took your wrath out on the whole Lothario family because they're defenseless. HBK says he won't let his people down. He is going to deliver more than the U.S. Postal Service would. And he says nobody can work their ass into the ground better than HBK. Interesting. Up next, we got Rocky Maivia taking on Davey Boy Smith with Clarence Mason. Bret Hart came limping into the commentary for the booth for this match. And he gets on the mic and says, the first thing he says is, The Rock is going to be phenomenal. He says, I think he has more potential than anyone I see in the back room. So Bret Hart handpicked Steve Austin. And he's saying on the mic that Rocky Maivia is phenomenal and going to be something. You know, Bret Hart not only is one of the greatest of all time, he sees talent when he sees it. And he saw it in Austin and The Rock before anyone, really, because he handpicked Austin and to work with. And The Rock, nobody thought The Rock was going to be something. When The Rock debuted, they had him as a future something because of his parents. But no one thought beyond that. And Bret Hart was saying that potential is beyond that. No one saw that potential until he became heel. But Bret saw it before. So, interesting take. Unless Bret was just saying that on commentary to get him over. But I doubt it. So it's the British Bulldog one-on-one with Rocky Maivia. They would meet a few years later when the Bulldog had his 2000 return. In the year 2000, they met. And on Raw back then, but this is an early match between the two. Rock torquing the arm of Bulldog. Owen Hart comes out to stand in front of Bret with his arms crossed, making sure Bret doesn't interfere, because that's something Bret would do, right? It's something Owen would do, and Owen put his Slammy award-winning trophy right in front of Bret, and then stood cross-armed like this, and made sure that Bret wouldn't interfere. Rock torqued the arm of the Bulldog, and then both of his arms crossed into the corner with a sternum first. Bulldog with a clothesline and then a side headlock to Rocky Maivia. Bulldog held a standing vertical suplex in the air, displaying his power for a long period of time. Rock gets a second win with a drop kick and clotheslines Bulldog to the outside. Austin then interferes and chops Bulldog down with one leg, and the ref didn't see. And then Austin hit the Stone Cold Stunner on the concrete floor to the British Bulldog behind the ref. So the ref didn't see Austin do this, and then Austin runs to the back. Bret Hart leaves the commentary table, but Owen's preventing him. Owen doesn't see what happened. Owen didn't turn his head to see what's happening, so he only sees Bret get up. Then Owen eventually sees Austin run to the back, so Owen goes to check on the Bulldog while Bret runs to the back, limping, to go check on Austin. So interesting stuff there. As Bret went to the back to check on Austin, Owen went to check on the Bulldog, and Rocky Maivia, meanwhile, wins by countout. So I rated the match a 1.25 stars. A lot of things happening outside that match. Next up, we got The Undertaker taking on Crush from the Nation of Domination. The Undertaker jumps Crush in the entrance aisle. Taker hit a DDT on Crush. Undertaker is hung up on the top rope. Crush lays rights and lefts to the Undertaker, headbutts and a choke in the corner. Then more kidney shots to the Undertaker by Crush. Crush tried to wear the big man down. He slapped on a camel clutch, and he kept that submission hold on for a period of time. And then he went for a backbreaker off the middle rope, but missed. He hit the backbreaker, but then he came off with a fist from the middle rope and missed the fist bump. Undertaker sat up before Crush could get the fist from the middle rope down on him. Undertaker grabbed Crush by the throat and hit a choke slam, and then the Nation interfered, and Taker was DQ'd, as did Vader. Vader goes up and hits the Vader bomb, and another as Ahmed comes in and runs with him with a 2x4. So basically what happened is Taker hit a chokeslam on Crush, won by DQ after the Nation and Vader interfered. Vader hit 2 Vader bombs on the Undertaker, and later Ahmed ran in with a 2x4, and Farouk gained possession and nailed Ahmed. So the show ended with Farouk leveling Ahmed with a 2x4 into those injured kidneys. I rate this show a 5 out of 10 because it was average. The match between Rocky and Bulldog was just more about what happened outside of it. Undertaker and Crush was below average, and the opener with the tag team match was just average as well. So 5 out of 10 I think is being a little bit more than fair. The Raws get better as the years go on. This is only the second of 1997, so they get better from here on out. Soon there'll be 2-hour episodes called Raw is War, so there's that to look forward to. So I'm Brett Mix. Thank you for watching this Raw review, and we'll see you on the next one.